sit down and bang out. Double entendre. Hi everyone, I'm Catherine and I'm here today with a review for you. So today's review is brought to you by summertime and the ultimate beach reads, even though we are still stuck in like minus 30-degree weather and it's cold and there's snow and I am so sick of winter. So sick. But today I have to review for you Fallen Too Far by Abbi Glines. So this is the first book in her Rosemary Beach series. Since I have read to date all of her Seabreeze books, I really needed something else for a summer read, and since I was in Costa Rica, I really needed a good beach read. And Fallen Too Far was one of the books that I decided to bring with me, and it was one of the ones that I finished reading while there. Okay, well technically I read it on the plane ride home from start to finish. So that capped in at a couple hours of reading time, and then I had the rest of the flight to try and sleep. It didn't happen. But anyway, this book is the ultimate cheesy goodness beach read. There's not a lot of like intellectual content to it, so don't go in expecting this like crazy philosophical masterpiece, but it is just the perfect summer read for a adorable summer romance that at times you're just like, just do it already. Just do it. But it's a sweet read, and there are other components to it that make it more than just your classic kind of chick lit type book. There's a bit of mystery because you don't know, like, what's the big secret? Although, I mean, had I been not quite as tired when reading it, I probably couldn't have seen the big secret to the degree that it was. Let's put it that way. So Fallen Too Far follows Blair. Yeah, Blair, I got that right. Blair and Rush. And Blair has recently suffered some pretty tragic events in her life, and she has moved to Rosemary Beach to live with her father, who has recently remarried, and discovers that Daddy's not there. So she's left at the mercy of her new stepbrother, because technically it's actually his house. So the story really kicks off from there. You are right from the get-go introduced to Blair as this really strong female character who literally carries around a gun for her own protection, which is... Stop touching my camera. Sophie can't keep her stuff to herself. But anyway, Blair literally carries around a gun and she protects herself, and although she's not incredibly learned in the ways of the relationship, she learns pretty quickly. She's also a really good friend to Bethy, who she meets at her job that she gets, and yeah, she's pretty much an all-around good girl. Then you have Rush, and Rush is the epitome of bad boy. His daddy is a rocker. He has the mommy-daddy issues. There's a lot going on for him. And although I'm sure a lot of his being is done out of a deeper sort of emotion, he kind of comes off as a really big, controlling asshole. So I can definitely see where some people would have problems with the relationship between Blair and Rush. We're going to completely set aside the slight incestiness of it all and not focus on that. Because technically there is no blood relation between them, but ick. However, with the personality that Rush has, and he's very controlling and domineering, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. I don't know. I read it for what it was. Just a really cutesy summer romance that, although some pretty heavier stuff does happen, it is fiction. I'm not going to go out and look for a guy like Rush anytime soon. Definitely this is the type of book for fans of Glines' Seabreeze series. I'm getting the two of them so mixed up in my head now. It's not funny. However, I do find that this series, the Rosemary Beach series, is a lot more adult. It's definitely not a young adult novel. There are several fairly explicit sex scenes, and while we're not talking 50 Shades of Grey, we're talking at least a softcore porn here. That being said, the book is not just all like weird romance and sex. There's a lot more to it, and it did leave it open really nicely for the second book in the series. There was a bit of a cliffhanger, but not much of a cliffhanger. But yeah, I am definitely very happy I have the second book on my shelf ready to read because I was left wanting more. Okay, so this part might be a little spoilery. Not really, but a little. So one of the sex scenes happens and there's no protection. And I don't know if it's because I work at a pharmacy or what, but all I could think was, okay, so you have millions of dollars, dude. Why don't you just go out and buy the morning after pill? Like, is that so difficult since you got caught up in the heat of the moment and didn't use a condom and the girl is not on birth control? I don't know. I mean, are there rules different in the States than Canada for the morning after pill? Because I know, like, in Ontario, it's just behind the counter in the pharmacy. You just have to ask for it. And in BC, it's literally just out on the shelf in the store. You can just go and grab it and take it. And it gets stolen a lot of times because people are really embarrassed to buy it. But, like, do you have to, like, have a prescription or go to a Planned Parenthood in the States? I don't know. But that was the one part of the book that just I kept coming back to afterwards. And I'm just like, why? Why put yourself through that? In the end, this is really just a book that if you want to sit down and bang through an awesome summary type read, go for it. It is not for younger readers for sure. For sure. You have to at least be an older teenager, I think, to read this. It is in the adult romance section at the bookstore. It's not a young adult novel. It is new adult, strictly because the main ages of the characters are from 19 to like 25, but it's still classified adult, people, adult. It is what it is. Take it or leave it, but that's what you're going to be getting. That being said, I loved what it was. I want to read more of what it was, and I definitely want to read the rest of the books in this series because it not only deals with Blair and Rush in later books, but other secondary characters from this first book have like their own focus in later books as well. So I'm definitely on board for reading the rest of them. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm sure this review went much longer than I intended, as they tend to do. But until next time, happy reading, everybody, and let me know down below if you've read this or if it's something that has been on your wish list or to read, and let's get conversation flowing. As well, down below, I'll list all the places you can find me online. So, until next time.